ask me what I was, I'll reply with what I've done. Those things others would not do, I did. Those rivers others would not swim, I swam. Those hills others would not climb, I conquered.
Those bridges others would not cross, I crossed.
I've celebrated, I've mourned, I have smiled,
and I've frowned.
I have seen death and felt its warm breath. It did not faze me, for I was different. I was a warrior. You ask me what I was. It was my destiny, until my last breath, to be a United States Marine. And my spirit shall live forever. Semper Fidelis.
For I was,
am, and shall forever be a United States Marine.
The cohesion of a unit involves the physical, spiritual, cognitive connection of Marines in that unit, because we are a team. And we remember the team, we remember the people we serve, we remember the hard times, remember the good times. And so when you leave the Corps, as we're all going to do eventually one day, I think that's the thing people miss. They miss that feeling of being part of something bigger than themselves.
You will sweat for each other, you'll bleed for each other if you need to. That's what true family is. You go through hard times together, you're there on the other end. So I have people I consider family that are blood relatives. I have people I consider family that are friends. And I have a lot of people I consider family that are just Marines with me.
When our way of life is threatened from the outside, we all come together as one from this diverse community that we have as Americans.
This is about individuals coming together to find something bigger than self, to be a part of a team greater than self, preparing to go to combat, protect each other.
On the battlefield, we don't leave any Marine behind. We stick together, come hell or high water. We know if one Marine's in trouble, that every Marine in earshot will be on his way there as fast as he can. Because the greatest honor, the greatest privilege of being a Marine is to fight alongside another Marine. The last thing you want to do when you leave the Marine Corps, when you're off on independent duty, you don't want to lose that connection.
When you're in a stressful environment, combat environment, where people are getting hurt, you know that you could be hurt at any point in time. That becomes your safety net. Those guys become your safety net. And you're with them every day, day in and day out. And you get really close because that's who you lean on when things are really stressful.
Some people will look at us like we're crazy, like, why are y'all laughing about being in the field for 3 weeks and raining down and no food that was worth eating? It's something that, as Marines, we understand that all the struggles that we go through strengthen us. It makes us tighter. When you're reduced to making the most of nothing, you build tight with your group and you get the job done.
They're going to be your friends for life. And they're the people that are going to help you the rest of your life. And Marines are like that. Marines are going to, once you're a Marine, you're going to always help other Marines. You're going to help anybody, but you're really going to look out for each other, and that's why we got to stay connected.
Always faithful, and we're still, look at us.
Right.
Look at us.
That's right.
Look at us. Look, you know.
Always.
Always.
When we say once a Marine, always a Marine, the family's included in that conversation. For all those warriors who've fallen, their families remain our families forever.
Generational interaction is so important. And whenever you have the opportunity to reach across the different generations of those who have worn our cloth, I think it's absolutely something you should do, because it shows you how much the world has changed, how much war has changed, but really how Marines are still pretty much the same.
So happy birthday, Marines. Wherever you find yourself tonight, forward deployed in harm's way, on unit rotation overseas, at bases and stations around our Corps with family and friends, with our veterans and retired Marines. Enjoy each other's company, and remember, we need you to be safe so that tomorrow we can be ready for whatever the world brings our way.
And remember, protect what you've earned.
Semper Fidelis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding General, Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, Brigadier General Thomas D. Wiley, I welcome you to the 241st birthday of our United States Marine Corps. We respectfully dedicate this ceremony to all Marines whose many sacrifices and contributions have preserved the proud heritage and time-honored traditions of our Corps. Would you please rise as our chaplain, Commander Stephen S. Dusenberry, United States Navy, delivers the invocation.
Let us pray. That we may start the celebration well, we call upon you, Almighty God, for the blessing of all present here, that you may be glorified by all we say and do. We approach you tonight, Lord, with a spirit of gratitude and thankfulness, ever mindful of your blessings, watch, care, and forbearance. Throughout our nation's history, you have provided and protected. Thank you, Lord. We pray for your blessings upon this ceremony. We ask that you make us mindful of the sacrifices of those who have gone before us, those who have gone the cause of our nation, and for those who are proud to claim the title United States Marine. Thank you for the mission and mandate of the United States Marine Corps, and for the readiness with which the Corps responds when the call comes. Help us to continue the 241 years of proud service and legacy passed down from those who have faithfully gone before. We ask for your blessings upon our fellow Marine brothers and sisters who may find themselves in harm's way this day. We ask you to grant them your protection and power to accomplish their mission, to fight against tyranny, and to stand in the gap for those who cannot. We ask you to bless their families as they wait expectantly and eagerly for their loved ones to return. Bless with perseverance those spouses as they hold down the home front. Bless with understanding their children as they sacrifice time, birthdays, and holidays while they are away. Lord, we have much to be thankful for and much to celebrate. May joy and laughter fill this place this evening. In your mighty name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. As you enter this banquet hall, you should have noticed that before us tonight stands an empty chair and a single lone table draped in black, signifying all of our fallen comrades who are not with us this evening, because they have given the full measure of devotion to our country and to our beloved Corps. The single lighted candle reminds us of the flame of eternal life, and that the memory of our fallen comrades will be with us always. The purple heart medal is displayed to reflect the shedding of blood and the ebb of life in battle. The identification tags are blank, yet they could bear the name of any of us here tonight. Only a few Americans choose the dangerous and necessary work of fighting our nation's enemies. As a consequence of that choice, some have paid the ultimate price, joining the honor roll of heroes who built the noble legacy of our Corps. For those of us who carry on that legacy, it is our obligation to honor those fallen Marines. As Marines gather in celebration of our history, we gather in the shadow of greatness. Though our fallen can no longer participate in our traditions, they will always be a part of us and who we are. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for a moment of silence for our fallen comrades. Please be seated. The adjutant for this evening's ceremony is Second Lieutenant Janae D. Arnold. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors to the commanding general and guest of honor, and remain standing for the march on of the colors, the national anthem, and the entry of the traditional birthday cake. of the United States Marine Corps be published by every command to all Marines throughout the globe on the birthday of the Corps. Since that day, Marines have continued to distinguish themselves on many battlefields and foreign shores, in war and in peace. On this birthday of the Corps, therefore, in compliance with the will of the 13th Commandment, Article 38, United States Marine Corps Manual, edition of 1921, is republished as follows.
On November 10, 1775, the Corps Base was created by resolution of Conference of Congress. Since that date, many thousand men have formulated parade. In memory of them, it is fitting that we Corps Marines should commemorate the birthday of our Corps by calling to mind the glories of its long and illustrious history. The record of our Corps is one which will bear comparison with that of the most famous military organizations in this world's history. During 146 years in its existence, the Marine Corps has been in action against the nation's foes. The Battle of Trenton, Sierra Leone, where you come on foremost officers of war, and long years of tranquility at home. Generation after generation of Marines have grown brave war in both hemispheres, and in every corner of the seven seas, that our country and its citizens might enjoy peace and security. In every battle and skirmish since the birth of our Corps, Marines have acquitted themselves with great distinction. They knew arms on each occasion, so the term Marine has come to signify all of its highest military efficiencies and soldierly virtue. This high name of distinction and social clear. We Corps Marines today have received from those that have preceded us in the Corps. With it, we have also received from them the eternal spirit, which has animated our Corps from generation to generation, and has been a distinguishing mark of the Marines of every age. So long as that spirit continues to flourish, Marines will be found equal to every emergency in the future as they have been in the past, and the men of our nation will regard as a worthy successor to the long line of illustrious men who served as soldiers of the sea since the founding of our Corps. Geottge Lejeune, Major General, United States Marine Corps, 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps. This inspiring message from our 13th Commandant has left its mark in the hearts and minds of all Marines. A message from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. Each year, on or around 10 November, Marines gather in groups large and small to celebrate our history, honor the memory of those who have gone before us, and rekindle the bond that unites all generations of Marines. This year, we mark the 241st anniversary of our Corps. 241 years of uncommon valor, innovation, and combat excellence. Marines, we are part of something bigger than any of us could imagine. Whether you fought in the battles of World War I, in the Pacific during World War II, in Korea or Vietnam, in Desert Shield or Desert Storm, or in the streets of Iraq and Afghanistan, or you are just starting out on your Marine Corps journey, we are all part of an elite family of warriors. For the rest of your life, the first term people use to describe you will be Marine. When the Continental Congress stood up 2 battalions of Marines in 1775, a culture of discipline, vigilance, professionalism, and military excellence was born. That has characterized our Corps for nearly 2.5 centuries. As Marines, we have a profound respect for our traditions and heritage, and for taking care of each other. We know we're strongest when we're together as a team. Wherever you are celebrating our Corps' birthday this year, look around at the Marine beside you and remember the bonds forged in training, in garrison, and in combat. Take this time to reconnect. We are Marines for life. It's our responsibility, our duty, to maintain and build upon the legacy of those who have gone before us. What we do today, guided by what we've learned from past generations, will determine the future of our Corps. So as we celebrate this 241st anniversary of our Corps, we also look ahead and prepare for our next success. Take pride in carrying our legacy forward. Happy birthday, Marines. Semper Fidelis, Robert B. Neller, General, U.S. Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is customary at Marine Corps birthday celebrations worldwide for Marines to cut a traditional cake in celebration of the birth of our illustrious ladies and gentlemen, the Commanding General of Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, Brigadier General Thomas D. Wiley.
All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to try to go global here. We'll see how well it works. So our Major Brady, I know it's going to work just fine, right? Right. Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to our 241st birthday celebration, Marine Corps Installations East Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune. What better way to celebrate the Marine Corps' birthday than on the Marine Corps' birthday? So, again, really proud and honored to be here with you tonight. I'd like to acknowledge a lot of special guests in the audience with us tonight. We've got numerous commanding officers, sergeants majors, command master chiefs. We've got detachment OICs. We've got elected officials with us tonight, community leaders. We've got 2 re-elected officials tonight. Mr. Bright, Mr. Buchanan, congratulations. We've got a number of other distinguished guests. We've got General Dickerson's in the audience. I think Admiral Culliston also joined us tonight. So again, my hat's off to you for coming out tonight, participating in this great ceremony. As I look back at this is our 75th anniversary at Camp Lejeune. When I look back over that period of time, and in particular when I look back over the last 15 months that I've been associated with the organization, I think the thing that stands out to me most really, and the thing that I would categorize as the organization's center of gravity, right? The hub of all strength and power in the organization, that center of gravity. For Marine Corps Installations East Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, the center of gravity is absolutely its people. I've been unbelievably delighted, excited, impressed, in awe of the team that's here at Camp Lejeune. Absolutely second to none. And that's no matter what sphere you look at, whether it's the admin sphere, whether it's the operational sphere, or MCIEAST, communications, budgeting, etc. No matter where you sit, there are people there that great Marines, civilian Marines, sailors that do the nation's bidding here on this installation each and every day, and they do it beyond my expectations. So I stand in awe of the team here at MCIE. So again, I want to thank you for all the tremendous work, all you do for the installations, Marines, sailors, and family members. It's absolutely amazing. There's a book out there, I think the Commandant's pretty fond of it, the book called Legacy. I think that many of you might have heard about it. Legacy is a book about the All Blacks, which is the most winningest professional team in the world's history. It's a rugby team out of New Zealand. And one of the last chapters in that book it talks about writing your legacy. And one of the things that happens when you make the All Blacks team, they give you a book, and in that book is a picture of jerseys and a short description of those key individuals along the best teams of the All Black throughout their history. All right, and then at the end of that book are blank pages. And the message is that you write your history. Okay? What happened thus far happened, but there's still a lot of history yet to be written. And that's the way I view the team at MCIEAST Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune. Each and every day, you're writing the installation's history. You're writing the history of our region. And you do it extremely well. So again, my hat's off to you for again, a tremendous year. I look forward to the next year together with you. Tonight we've got the opportunity to welcome a member of the MCIEAST Marine Corps Base 2MEF 2nd MAW New River family back with us tonight. And again, I couldn't think of a more appropriate warrior to have come and say a few words with us tonight. Sergeant Major Van Ostrom and his wife Melissa, again, are no stranger to most of you in the audience here tonight. Over the last 31 years, I would say probably the last half of his time was spent here at the New River Lejeune area. See, one tour, I think, in Eagle Community with Colonel Escalante. Again, his MOS is one that's very fond of me because it has aviation in its title. It is Aviation Ops Chief. Again, his tours in the area here started. He was the Ops Chief over at New River at the air station. Then he was the Ops Chief at MAG 29. Then he came back. He was at 2nd LAR. He was the first sergeant there to combat deployment. After that, he went to Iwakuni. He was promoted to sergeant major. Then he comes back to the area. He's back at HNHS Squadron at New River, and then follows out with a tour with VMM 263 at New River. Again, that's the first VMM, the first V-22 deployment to combat in Iraq. Sergeant Major Van Ostrom was the lead enlisted advisor in that particular unit. After that, he becomes Sergeant Major of MAG 29, then he becomes Sergeant Major of Marine Corps Installations East for almost 2.5 years, and he becomes Sergeant Major of 2MEF for almost 2.5 years, and then he heads off to his favorite tour, Manpower and Reserve Affairs, since 2014, right, Sergeant Major? Yeah, absolutely not. Again, please join me in a warm welcome for Sergeant Major Van Ostrom, one of MCIEAST's own.
I am going to use the podium because of the lecture. I've got a lot of people in the audience, and being back home kind of makes me all giddy, gets me all nervous. But we're amongst friends, we're amongst families, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here. Before I make my remarks, I ask you to join me in a round of applause for that color detail, that sword detail, that cape detail, and our boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure for the Van Ostroms to be back here in Eastern North Carolina. As we celebrate our 241st birthday with the Marines, sailors, civilian Marines, families of Marine Corps Installations East, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune. Amongst us today, we have obviously Brigadier General Wiley and his beautiful wife Jill. We have Sergeant Major and Christy Gray. We have several elected officials. We have Marines, we have friends, we have families, and with tomorrow being Veterans Day, it's kind of apropos, we have veterans amongst us today. So I'm humbled to be here amongst you. My wife Melissa joins me in saying happy birthday as we pause and we remember our fallen comrades, we reflect on our illustrious past, we rekindle old friendships, we reaffirm our commitment to causes much greater than ourselves. Tonight, as we celebrate the birthday of our Marine Corps, we realize that, in fact, this is a reunion. A reuniting of buddies, of comrades who have served their country, or the cloth of this great nation when others couldn't or when others wouldn't. It is on this date that, regardless of where we are as Marines, we stop and we reflect on our proud history, our legacy of wearing the Eagle Cloak and Anchor, and of those who come before us over the last 241 years of our existence, making sacrifices, some of them being an ultimate sacrifice. Tonight we pause, we renew ourselves to those virtues we hold dear, proud of our accomplishments, and dedicated to remembering our past and preparing to write the next chapters in our Marine Corps history. From our early establishments, when the Continental Congress resolved that 2 battalions be raised to Bellwood in 1918, when during World War I Marines crossed the wheat field and earned their nicknames Double Dog, to our services in places like Tarawa, Waste City, Afghanistan, Iraq, or most recently fostered in Special Purpose MAGTF Crisis Responses Forces in Europe and the Middle East. Marines have continued to serve this great nation with great courage and distinction, answering a call to duty, ready to respond when our nation is least ready. As such, I'm reminded of the many awards that I've read that reflect upon the glorious service of so many, but in respect of our time this evening, I'll share but 2. The first takes place in a place known as Afghanistan, where Marines on a support mission, manning a radio, hears calls from their buddies down in the valley, calling out that they're being surrounded by the enemy, knowing that they must go and assist their comrades. The NCO directs the driver to push into the valley. The driver nervously looks up at him and says, "We'll get stuck in the terrain." The NCO simply looks down, replies, and says, "Well, I guess we'll die with them." The second The second is a story in Iraq, where a squad leader, moving with his squad, is pinned down. Machine gun fire all around. Sees 3 wounded Marines out in the open. Squad leader simply asks the squad, who wants to go dodge some bullets? Ladies and gentlemen, these are actual witness statement comments I'm reading. Who wants to go dodge some bullets? Marines in the squad immediately raise their hands. He grabs 2. Cover fire persists. All 3 expose themselves to enemy fire and successfully rescue the 3 wounded Marines. Reminds me of old Samurai Colonel Williams. My mission, my Marines, myself. Makes you feel good. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening, as we all sit around the historical base known as Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, we have Marines around the globe supporting all 6 geographical combatant commanders. Over 35,000 Marines deployed across 40 countries, 24,000 Marines west of the international date line, and yes, we still have 1,000 with boots on the ground in Afghanistan and Iraq. For that reason, I know all in attendance understand and appreciate the unselfish service of our brothers and sisters in arms tonight, manning the watch. For we know that any one of us gathered here tonight could be next. Next to deploy, next to engage and face an unfriendly foe, and yes, next to be called to give that full measure of devotion. We know the joy and the sense of purpose that comes from shared hardships and subordination to something greater than ourselves, and we cherish keeping company with the finest men and women under least than favorable conditions. So as we celebrate, let us remember our illustrious past, reaffirm our commitment to the challenges that lay ahead, remain vigilant and attentive, understanding that there does lie an enemy knocking on the door, always faithful and ready to respond to today's crisis, today's wars, today. Marines, civilian Marines, and friends of MCIEAST Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, thank you. Thank you for your dedication and your service that you've made to the nation and the Corps, not only this year, but in all the previous years prior to now. You've remained adaptive, innovative, strategic in supporting the training deliverance of combat readiness of our Marines and sailors here in the Carolina Back and institutionally faithful during fiscally austere periods when it comes to programs that impact our families and our quality of life. You have reflected great credit upon yourself, the United States Marine Corps, for that you should be proud of. Before I close, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize our families and our significant others. As we celebrate our Corps' birthday, I'd like each of you to know just how much you mean to your Marine. To the wives, the husbands, the children, the girlfriends, the boyfriends, the moms, and the dads, and the many other individuals that provide the support of thanks. The Marine Corps can never repay you or say thank you enough for what you have done and what you will continue to do, because as the Commandant says, there will be tougher times ahead. Melissa and I realize each and every day the sacrifices that our families make that allow those that wear the uniform to do what we so graciously love to do. Our Corps is grateful and recognize the hardships that you endure. You have been strong and committed to your Marine Corps, and that is something that cannot and will not be granted or taken for granted tonight. So for those that were in the cloth of our nation, I'd ask you to please join me in a round of applause as we thank our families and friends for their unwavering support today and every day. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, the Marine Corps celebrates 241 years of faithful service to our nation. And whether we break bread here at home tonight aboard Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, on a ship with our Navy brethren, at sea, or in some desolate place halfway around the globe, Marines will pause and they will celebrate the birth of the world's greatest fighting force. We take time and we reaffirm ourselves to those values that we hold true of being a United States Marine, and we reflect on the many accomplishments that we have made on behalf of our nation. Again, thank you for inviting my wife and I to be here to be part of this great celebration. We're honored and we wish nothing but the best for you and your families in the years to come. Semper Fidelis, Marines, and God bless.
we are absolutely delighted to have you and Melissa here with us tonight. On behalf of all Marines, sailors, civilian Marines, and Marine Corps installation teams, I know you asked for nothing, but we wanted to give you something to remember this night by, because again, you are part of our family, you're part of our history, you're part of our legacy here, and this is a little something to put on your desk to remind you this evening. So, yeah, thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you for joining us this evening as we celebrate our 241st birthday. Please, enjoy your evening.